acquired without prayer. Let's start our session with prayer song. Sunshine is a welcoming thing. It brings a lot of brightness. Welcome is a beauty of everything we do. May I invite Ms. S. Revati from 3rd BCA to welcome the gathering.
A cheerful morning to everyone get connected here. I feel honored and privileged to have this opportunity to propose a welcome address on this webinar. A great leader's courage to fulfill her vision comes from passion, not position. I feel proud to welcome our Secretary Reverend Mother C. Noel Rani, FSAG, who is a kind of hardworking person and makes others also understand the value of hard work. She is very much dedicated to whatever action she performs. Welcome you, Mother. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest thing. She is the one that gets the people to do the greatest thing. I welcome our principal of our college, Reverend Dr. E. Gita Sumangali, FSAG, is the one who has such power which is behind the success of anything. Welcome you, sister. Successful people tend to become more successful because they are always thinking about their success. I welcome our Vice Principal of our college, Reverend Dr. A. John Diana, FSAG, is the one who supports us in all activities. Welcome you, sister. Outstanding leaders go out of their way to boost the self-esteem of their personnel. If people believe in themselves, it's amazing what they can accomplish. I would like to express my hearty welcome to our resource person, Professor Dr. D. Santhi Jeslet, Head and Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, M.G.R. College, Hosur, who has accepted our invitation and present here to spend a time with us to explore her knowledge and work experience with us. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm very much I'm very much glad to welcome MS P. Meena, Head and Assistant Professor, and all the staff members of Department of Computer Science and Application who arranged and organizing this webinar in an excellent manner. Welcome you staff members. Last but not least, it is my great pleasure to welcome our students and other college faculty members and students for their excellent cooperation on this program. Welcome you all. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Lead, thank you, Revati. Leaders must be close enough to relate to others, but far enough ahead to motivate them. I am much pleased to invite our principal to bless us with her words.
Reverend Sister John Diana, Vice Principal, Professor Dr. D. Shanthi Jeslet, Resource Person, M.G.R College, Hosur, Ms. P. Meena, Head and Convener of this webinar, Ms. J. Anita Joseph, Organizing President, members of the faculty, students of our college, and participants from other colleges, pleasant morning to all of you. First and foremost, I congratulate the organizing team for choosing a relevant topic for the discussion of today. As I was reading through some articles, I understand the web mining is an application of data mining techniques to find information patterns from the web data. It helps to improve the power of a web search engine by identifying the web pages and classifying the web documents. Web mining is very useful to e-commerce websites and e-services. The content of data used for web mining in business intelligence can be a collection of facts contained on web pages, and it can consist of a text, structured data like tables and lists, and even audio, images, and video. There are different sources of data during web mining, and the target source will determine the method that we will use to collect data. There are three types of web mining: web contents mining, web usage mining, web structure mining. I'm sure that the insight on web mining as key enabler of business would broaden the perspectives of these participants on the applications of web mining to the participants. The goal of today's discussion is to turn data into information and information into insights. I'm certain that the resource person, out of her intensive experience, will set the minds of the participants with zeal and quest for web signing. I wish God's blessings to have productive session. All the best to each and every one of the participants on this webinar. Once again, I register my great sense of appreciation for the Department of Computer Science and Application for taking a wonderful title for the discussion and making the students to work on it and to come out with different ideas. Once again, all the best to all of you. May you all have a fruitful session. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Now, I cordially invite Ms. J. Anita Joseph, Organizing President of Department of Computer Science and Application, to introduce our resource person.
Very good morning to one and all present here, and warm welcome to everyone. And Professor Dr. D. Shanthi Jeslet was born on 1st June 1971 in Tirunelveli. Currently, she is the head Department of Computer Science, M.G.R College, Hosur. She completed her BSc degree in Computer Science at M.G.R College for Women, Krishnagiri in the year 1991. She has completed her master degree in MCA in 1995 at Valliammal College for Women, Chennai. She has completed her master's in philosophy at Manonmaniam Sundaranar University, Tirunelveli in the year 2003. She did her doctorate in philosophy in the year 2017 at Dravidian University, Andhra Pradesh. She has a versatile experience over 26 years in the same college. She was the Senate member of Periyar University during the year 2011 to 2013. She is one of the member of PG Computer Science Board of Study in Periyar University from the year 2008. At present, she is the chairman of Board of Studies for PG Computer Science. She was also one of the members of UG Computer Science Board of Study at Mahendra College of Arts and Science, Tiruchengoor during 2015 to 2018, and she also the member of Board of Study for MCA in Adiyaman College of Engineering during 2012 to 2015. and more than 40 MPhil students awarded by Periyar University Salem under her guideship. She was also the IQAC coordinator of NAC in M.G.R College, Hosur during 2012 to 2016. She has also published many research papers in some reputed international and national journals and also presented many papers in international and national conferences and seminars. And we are full of energy and feeling happy and excited to have a such versatile personality as a resource person of this webinar. We are very eagerly waiting to observe your session. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, now I cordially invite our resource person, Professor Dr. D. Shanti Jaskin, Head and Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, M.G.R College, Hosur, to give a fruitful session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. A pleasant good morning to one and all who have joined here. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Almighty God who made us to meet at least through online. It's my pleasure to be a resource person in this webinar, the state level webinar. My real appreciation goes to the Department of Computer Science and Applications headed by Mrs. Meena. My special thanks to the principal, vice principal, and the management of Konsaha College. I also thank our own management and principal for allowing me to be the resource person over here today. When I talked with Meena, she said any topic that is common for the UG students and the PG students. So we have decided to take the topic from data mining. To be frank, whatever I have prepared, your principal has expressed everything related with web mining. Thank you, sister. So she has made my job to be easy. Let us start the session. Let me share my screen. Please, any one of you, give me the response whether my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible only. Yes, ma'am. It's really showing the same slide and the enabler of business.
Thank you. Thank you. So welcome for webinar on web mining, key enabler of business. So from the topic, you can understand it is more related with business. It is a key enabler, that means it is a boost or a key for enabling the business to be a successful one. So instead of going directly to web mining, since most of you are UG and PG students, you are aware of the data mining, then we will move on to web mining. So these are the topics which we are going to cover in today's session. Why we need data mining, what is data mining, the major steps of data mining, then the various techniques that are used in data mining, then we'll application of data mining, then move on to basics of web mining, challenges in web mining, and application in web usage mining. So why we need data mining? See, generally a necessity is the mother of invention. We used to say necessity is the mother of invention. So since we had some necessity, we have entered into data mining. That is why we have strongly entered into mining. Once we take mining, the literal meaning of mining is extracting something. Suppose if we say it is a gold mine, what we are extracting? We are extracting gold from the gold area where it is most probably present. We used to mine. We used to mine what? Gold. So here what we are going to mine data. That means we have data explosion. Enormous of data are available in our day-to-day life. Why there is an explosion in data? Because we have many collection tools and we have many database technology which can extract the details or the information from the collected data. For example, if you go to a departmental store, in the early stage, no one will ask you to give the phone number, address, nothing they'll get from you. Just they'll put the bill, they'll do the product, that's all. But nowadays, wherever you go, they'll give a form. We used to fill our name, address, phone number, how did you know, how did you come to know the departmental store, all these details they are collecting. So not only from you, from each and every person who is visiting the departmental store, they'll be filling and they are collecting. So the data accumulates in the departmental store. So this is a simple example like this. Wherever you go, even in hospitals, if you visit, in the earlier stage, directly we were able to meet the doctors. Whereas nowadays, we are supposed to Is my screen visible? Those who are not using YouTube, is my screen visible? Ma'am, ensure whether the screen is visible. I think in the YouTube link, they are unable to see my PP. Meena ma'am?
Meena ma'am? Ma'am, YouTube screen is on. Voice மட்டும் தான். Voice மட்டும் வருதுமா? Screen மட்டும் வரதா ரொம்ப நேரமா? Oh.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. So in the hospitals, if you go in earlier days, we used to meet the doctor directly. But nowadays, it's not possible. You are supposed to register, right? So what you are registering there, we are getting our personal details in the hospitals. So there also the data gets accumulated. You may visit the same doctor again, same hospital again or not. They may be, but data gets accumulated there, right? Now, hope you can understand why data explosion is available. Then, nowadays, we have vast storage capacity. There is no restriction in the storage capacity. See, when they have invented the computers, the memory plays the vital role. They have to write the program in such a way that it occupies less memory. Even if it takes more time for execution, no one is going to matter in those days. They have bothered only about the minimum requirement of memory for storing the programs. But nowadays, what we are least bothered about the memory because we have got many secondary storage devices. Even if you take our mobile phone, it has got plenty of memory storage available, so we are least bothered. So when we are not bothered about the storage capacity, we used to put every data into the memory. Then the query languages have improved in such a way that it can retrieve most of the data, whatever may be the size of the database, right? So we are having lump sum of data available, but we are starving for knowledge. So we are drawing in data, but starving for knowledge. So since we have lump sum of data available, we're supposed to mine it. Mine it means you have to extract. Right? So you're going into data mining. So this is how we need data mining for our day-to-day life. What is actually data mining? See, we already told we have drawn the data but starting with knowledge. So we are rich in data, what information we have. So we are supposed to extract or or we are supposed to gain interesting knowledge from large amount of data in the database. You question me, just by giving a query, is it possible for you to get all the information? Of course, you can get the information by giving a query to a database, but you cannot say that to be a knowledge. Whereas the data mining algorithm is going to extract some knowledge which is unknown. So you are going to extract the data and you are going to give an unknown knowledge society. So extraction of implicit is already known. Some new thing you are going to extract, or you are going to invent some new things that are available. That is called data mining. The extraction of implicit, previously unknown and unexpected useful information from the data can be extracted by using data mining techniques. Then you should know the difference between data and information. Almost everyone will know data is useless. Say for example, if I say 45, you can understand that it is a numeric number. Nothing else you can understand from the number 45. But if I process the data as age is equal to 45, everyone can understand that age is equal to 45. That is, the age of a person is 45. Some extra knowledge you can gain, is it not? So that is called information. A data is a raw thing which is useless, right? But it has a valuable, it is a valuable resource. Only with the data you can extract information. So potentially it is a valuable resource. So the society produces more amount of data which is valuable, but if you are going to have the data as it is useless. So you need some techniques to extract information from the data. So your data is a recorded fact and your information is processed recorded facts. So these are the major steps of data mining. So your data gets accumulated at one area. From that data, you are not going to use the entire data as it is. You are going to select few data for your extraction. So you are going to extract, or you are going to select what type of data you need for your work. Suppose if you are going to get the database from the hospital, you are not going to consider all the data that are available in the database of an hospital for your study. Suppose if you want to find out the frequently visited patients, then you are least bothered about their medical reports, then their what extra scanned materials or their CT scan reports. Nothing you need. Only you need is their patient ID, their name, their address. That's more than enough. So the data that is dumped in the database need not be taken as it is. So you are going for the first step called selection, right? Then the data which you have selected it will not be a complete data. Sometimes if you see in the record, patient name may be missing, or their blood group may be missing, or their doctor to whom they are consulting may be missing. So all these has to be made as a complete data. That step we are doing in pre-processing. So the data that is extracted directly from the database cannot be used as it is. It has to be pre-processed, right? Then after pre-processing, after getting the pre-processed data, you are supposed to transform the data in such a way that it matches the algorithm which you are using, right? Say for example, you are writing the program for adding two float numbers. So as an input, you are giving two integer numbers. Of course, most of the programming languages will convert the integer into float. But as a computer science student, you know that it will be automatically converted. But as a lay person, they do not know that program which is written for adding two float numbers will add integers. What they'll do, they will convert the integer into float. How? Suppose if I am giving 5, they will convert it as 5.0 and they'll give it as input, right? So that is called transformation. Why do they transform? Because the algorithm is meant for adding two float numbers. So I am going to convert 5 into 5.0, then I am going to give it as input. That's what here we are using, doing. In pre-processing, data has to be converted or has to be transformed in the form that is acceptable by the algorithm we have selected. So the transformed data will enter into the algorithm of data mining, and it is going to generate knowledge, that is patterns. New patterns will be generated by the data mining algorithm or the technique. After getting that pattern, you are supposed to give that knowledge to the user. How it will be converted into knowledge? If anything is in sentence form, you cannot understand. So you'll represent everything in the form of a graph. How the business was during the last 5 years, then how the business is now in the current year. Everything, if you are giving it in a sentence form, it will not be an effective output. So what you're going to do is you are going to interpret and evaluate and you are going to give the output in a presentable form that becomes knowledge. So these are the steps how your data has been converted into knowledge. So these are the basic steps of data mining, which is also used for web mining. So now let us see the applications, the major area of application of data mining. It is used in market segmentation, customer churn. Suppose if you want to segregate the customers who are regular customers, irregular customers, or who are customers for a particular product. So like this, if you want to segregate, you can apply data mining techniques. Then fraud detection, market segmentation, you know how to define which product you have the market. Based on that, you will segregate the products. Then fraud detection is you will be using the data mining technique in order to identify some fraud doing. How? Say for example, you are using your ATM. Generally, what you will do, you will go to the ATM machine, you in the card, immediately it will ask you to enter the PIN. You will enter the PIN and immediately do the transaction. If you want to withdraw the money, you will withdraw. Otherwise, you will go for other mini statement printing and you will come out. Suppose the third person has taken your card. What he will do? He will do the machine. Definitely, he will insert the card. Immediately, he will start typing combination of numbers as a PIN. For more than 3 times, if it's repeat, automatically the card gets locked. Now, I can say that that person is a fraud person. Why the card has been locked? Because he has given for more than 3 times in a wrong combination. How do you identify that it is a fraud action? If it is his own card, he would have inserted the card immediately, he would have given the PIN number. So something differently he is doing, right? From the natural thing, he is to do something different. So these type of different actions can help us identify the fraud person. So we will be using data mining technique for identifying this fraud personalities. Then the market basket analysis is meant for analyzing the trend of demand for a particular product or the combination of products. So the major application of data mining is in business. So what they'll do is they want to know the demand of a particular product as well as the combination of products which are purchased together has to be analyzed. So they'll do market basket analysis. That is also one of the major application of data mining. Then the trend analysis is predicting the future, right? So you can take the best example of weather forecasting. The weather forecasting is using the techniques of data mining by taking the historical data and also the current data. It is going to predict. So generally data mining is meant for predicting something and giving a new knowledge or a fresh pattern to the society, right? So it will use the current data as well as the historical data in order to fetch you new informations. Then another application is web mining, where this web mining is used is telecommunication, education. So these are some of the areas where exactly web mining can be useful. So, but let us know what is web mining first. So discovering knowledge from the website, the www is actually the ability of an intelligent agent. So you're going to discover something from www. So what actually data mining has? Data mining is having database which is dumped with data. Then what could be web mining? Web mining is also having the data in the form of through www, right? The largest data source in the world is your web. Without network, we don't have systems nowadays or mobile phone nowadays. We have the growth of www exceed all your expectations. So if you take in the world till to 2020, the number of web pages. So hope you know the web page. You will develop a website. Each website will have different number of web pages. Say for example, if you are visiting Periyar University will have a home page. It will have academics page. It will have the research page. Then it will have frequently asked questions page. So like this, different number of pages will be available for each and every website. So the data mining has dealt with data, whereas this web mining is going to deal with the data that is related to web. So as per 2020, more than 6 billion pages are available in the world. So think about the information that is available in each web page, and your billion of files are available in the internet in the form of web pages. So your web page may be an HTML document, it may be a picture, or it may be a multimedia file. Yes, it may be anything. So everything forms a data. Right. Now, if you take the that is a lack of structure and heterogeneity. Here, retrieving interesting content is a difficult task. In the case of data mining, extracting new information is a difficult task. So we have implemented data mining. In web mining also, taking interesting thing from the web is a difficult task. So we are entering in web mining, which is a multidisciplinary field. Why do we say that it's a multidisciplinary field? See, web mining needs the technique of data mining. Without that, it is not possible for us to enter into web mining. Then you need the basic database technology. DBMS is needed. Then when you come this side, you need machine learning techniques, artificial intelligence, you need statistics, and other disciplines are also needed. So why you need statistics? All the algorithms mining is based on the statistical formula, right? You are using correlation, regression, mean, standard deviation. Everything is used in the algorithms of data mining. So you need the technique or the idea about statistics and some other advanced disciplines like using deep learning, machine learning. Everything is the base from data mining. Base is data mining. Then you need visualization. As I said, simply extracting the result or the pattern is useless. It has to be presented in a visual form. So you need all the visualization technique, whether you are going to represent that in the graphical form or in a diagrammatic form. So you have to decide. So web mining as such, it is a multidisciplinary field. So when you compare data mining and web mining, your data mining is data into knowledge. So the data which you are using in data mining will be structured data, and it is a relational data. So it is well defined in the form of a table. Hope you can understand what is a table. It will have rows, columns, keys, everything. You will have a primary key, secondary key. So when you give a query, it will fetch the information from the table. So that base is there in data mining. But in web mining, you are concentrating on web data. So web data will not be a structured data. So always it will be a semi-structured and unstructured data. So once it's an unstructured data, you have to put your effort more in order to get the information. So, but the data are readily available. So web data will be stored in the proxy servers as well as in cookies, right? So you can fetch the data easily, but you have to involve the algorithm of data mining in order to get in useful pattern. So you are going to apply the data mining technique in web mining. So you are going to extract and uncover knowledge from web documents and services. This is the major difference between data mining and web mining. So you are going to extract, uncover knowledge from web documents. So you are going to use the web pages as data in the web mining, right? So what are the major challenges of web mining? See, the web is going to offer various opportunities and challenges to data mining because it has huge information on the web. Web information is very wide and diverse, as well as it is unstructured. You cannot say the web pages to be static. It is always dynamic in nature, right? So it is having all types of information and data in the web as a structured table, that is tables which may be structured or it may be sometimes unstructured. It can handle text, multimedia data, everything is present in web mining. So you have to select an algorithm depending upon your work. If you are going to work on multimedia data, then you have to select the algorithm in such a way that it helps to fetch information from multimedia data. What is that multimedia data? Suppose if you are going to identify a personality who is different from others in their look. Suppose if you want to find out the foreigner, you will have the iris, you will have the what the face recognition techniques are nowadays available. Based on that, you can take all the photos and analyze. So automatically it involves multimedia data there, right? So your web information is not a structured one, as I said, it is a semi-structured. So since we are using links and HTML codes, if you are going to develop a web page, you will use HTML or PHP. So where the data will not be a structured one, so it is a semi-structured data. So everything will be in the form of hyperlinks. I hope you know what is a hyperlink. The address, URL address will be in the form of link. So your information is redundant as well as it will be noisy. So you need to pre-process the data, pre-process the web data. So as I said, web is a dynamic one. So no one will have their web page static. They will be doing different actions on the web page. Either they will delete the web page or they will update the web page. They will change the look of the web page. Frequently, the web page keeps on changing, so we call it as dynamic in nature. So, what are the problems that are mostly environments? Identification of authoritative web pages. Which are the web pages that are authoritative, right? There are plenty of web pages. When you can develop your own website, you can place the web page there, but you should have an authoritative web page. So your data mining should identify the authoritative web page, web communities. Hope you can know what is the web communities. So there will be discussion groups in the web. On some topic, they have a group, they'll discuss on that particular topic. So if you want to identify the group which is discussing on the recent trends in computer, your web mining should fetch that information from the web data. Or if you want to know the group of web pages which is discussing on the business, then your web mining should help to identify those communities. It is the sense the personalities who are discussed on business. So you can also use web document classification. If you want to classify which are the web pages very frequently visited, or if you want to know which are the web pages which are linked by a particular person. So it is possible for you to do it with web mining. Web log mining is nothing but log. We say that in the case of data mining, we say it is a database. Here we'll call it as a log, right? So you have usage, access, and evaluation. I'll tell you what is it in the next slides. So you can give intelligent queries for answering in web search. So these are the major techniques of web mining. Actually, these are the techniques of data mining, which are very frequently used in web mining: classification and prediction, cluster analysis, and association rule mining. So these are the techniques that are mostly used in web mining. In the classification and prediction technique, what we are doing is we are supposed to predict some class label. So what is that class label? Assume that you are going to divide the class into two groups, right? As a person of slow learner and fast learner. So in that case, you will train the data, or you will train the algorithm or the machine in such a way that it will classify the students into two groups. So you will select some algorithm, it will divide it into two groups. Suppose a new student enters, automatically your machine should identify whether that student is a fast learner or a slow learner. So you are going to categorize the label as fast learner, slow learner. So the well-known algorithms for classification and prediction are decision tree, Bayes, backpropagation, k-nearest neighbor algorithm. Each and every algorithm has its own advantage and disadvantage. Depending upon our requirement, we can select any of the algorithm or group of algorithms for categorical class labels, right? So the various application includes web document classification, as I said, medical diagnosis, then effectiveness analysis, performance prediction. So in all these area, we will be using classification and prediction techniques. Then in the case of cluster analysis, you will group based on that is there you will give already it will be predefined, whereas in the case of clusters it depends upon our input. If I need two groups, it will divide into two groups. If I need four groups, it will divide it into four groups. So no predefined class label will be available for cluster analysis. Upon our requirement, will divide the web or generally the data into groups. Cluster means groups. So if you take a member in a group, it will be more similar within the group, but will be similar to other group. So on that basis, you divide the data. So the distance of a member in one group within itself will be very short. When you compare the distance of a member in one group to another group, the distance will be more. So the various algorithms which are used in cluster analysis are k-means, agglomerative, nearest neighbor. So in this, almost we will be using k-means and k-nearest neighbor algorithm in most of the application. Then, some of the applications which uses this cluster analysis is finding natural grouping of web resources or web users. As I said, if you want to know the common web community, you can use cluster analysis. Then it supports in decision making in the business management. It recommends for new items based on the user's taste. So your data mining technique can recommend to the business personality for introducing the new products. Then the next technique is association rule mining. It aims to extract interesting correlation, frequent patterns, and association among the set of items. Now, as I said in the market basket analysis, actually uses this concept association rule mining. How? Say, for example, I'll quote you a natural example. When you go to a shop for purchasing bread, you could see that jam will be placed nearby bread. Hope you can understand, because they are all correlated products. If you are going to purchase bread, definitely you'll go for purchasing a jam. Then when you go for purchasing shoes, you will definitely think of purchasing the socks. As a computer personality, if you're going to purchase the computer, then definitely you'll go for purchasing the software. So here you can see the association between the products. So once you purchase computer, there is more probability that you go for purchasing the legal softwares. So you can say computer and the software are associated products. So if you want to find out the associated products. See, if you are having a computer nearby the rack, you can place all the related softwares. So if you take a departmental store, you can keep bread, and behind it you can nearby it you can place the jam, because definitely everyone will be tempted to purchase the associated products. So the association rule mining is going to find out the correlated or the frequently purchased products among the other products available. So here association rule mining is going to use two basic metrics or parameters called the support and confidence. Only based on this, it is going to decide whether that particular product is a frequently purchased product. Along with that product, which product is purchased by the customers very frequently, right? So these are the various algorithms, a priori, FP growth, ECLAT, everything is used. So out of this, a priori algorithm is very much used in association rule mining techniques. So the various application includes intrusion detection, biometrics, air pollution, associated web pages. So if you come to web page, so now we are dealing with the web mining. So this association role mining is very much useful in finding the associated pages. So what is that associated pages? We'll come to know with a practical example. Now let us see what are the three different categories of web mining. It is web content mining, web structure mining, and web usage mining. Now, if you take web content mining, from the name itself, you can guess. From the web page content, you will be disclosing or you will be discovering a new knowledge. So, the result from the content of the web page, that is from www, get a web page. From the web page content, you can get more idea. So, web mining may include text, image, audio file, or it may be a video, it may be a metadata, that is a combination of all these things, and the hyperlinks. Just you are not going, suppose if I want to find out which are the pages that has the content related to stock exchange, then I can visit all the pages that is having the data related to stock exchange. It is not possible for you to visit all the web pages in www. So finally what it is going to do is, it is going to gather the similar pages. Similar pages means what is our requirement? We need to understand more about stock exchange. So we are supposed to get all the web pages which is having the discussion or which is having the information related to stock exchange. So it is going to extract only those pages which is having the stock exchange discussions. So this is content mining. Whatever you are placed inside web page will be examined or will be mined and will be taken. So it is just like your text mining, only based on the text or the image that is available in the web page. The algorithm will identify that this web page is related to our work. So you will get a group of web pages which has discussed about stock exchange. From that group of web pages, you can come to know what is stock exchange, and whatever the updations you want to do to your own business can be easily identified. Then structure mining. So what is web structure mining? It is related with the links, that is from one link to another link of a web page. See, once when you enter into a website, you will not stay at a particular web page itself. From the home page, you may visit the result page, or from the home page, you visit a syllabus page or syllabus link, right? So here this web structure mining is actually meant for identifying the relationship between the web pages linked by information, right? So you may visit one website for purchasing a particular product, and immediately transfer to some other related web page, right? So you have to know which are the web pages that are related to the previous web page. That can be identified by using web structure mining. So it is mainly, it is going to utilize your website as a business tool, and it is going to identify the related business. Suppose you are doing a business, you have a website, you want to know who are all the person who are doing the same business, how their websites are. If you want, you need to implement web structure mining. So that is the importance in business. Web usage mining. So here, what that usage mining is how the data in the web page is used by the customer or by the use. Based on that, also you can predict some information. As I said, content mining, based on the content of the page, content in the sense whatever is placed there in the page, either image or some text message, based on that you will search for the related pages. Whereas in web usage meaning, how the data is used by the users, based on that usage you are going to identify on web usage mining. So with an practical example, I'm going to explain you what is web usage mining. So here, typical source of data is your server access log, referrer log, agent log, then client-side cookies, then your own profiles, user profiles. Based on this information, when you visit a web page or website, automatically your entire detail will be stored in a log. You will call as a log here. As I said, when you are going to fill the form, everything will be entered into the system. It will be stored in the database. Of data mining will be stored in the database. Whereas if you are going to visit any website, if they ask you to register, what you will do, you will give all these details. These details are going to be stored in the form of a log, where in the server. So what that is going to store. So it is personalization of previously accessed pages. That is, mainly web usage mining is meant for personalization. So it is used for tracking of the previously accessed pages in order to find the frequency of a particular page that we visited. Right? So we use the structure of the websites of a web page. So suppose if you are visiting a particular page many number of times, not only you, the number of visitors for that particular page happens to be more, then we can say that web page is an important web page in that particular website. So what you can do, you can decorate that web page in a different way, or you can give more concentration, more information on that particular page. How to identify? By using web usage. So it's a way in protection of future page references. That is, if you have visited this particular page, how or which page you will visit next can be predicted by using web usage mining. For this, I can give you a practical example. You are going to search something in YouTube or in the search engines. What it will do immediately when you close everything and reopen again, automatically it will show some related informations in the screen. You would have identified. Suppose if you are doing online purchase for dress using some online purchase websites like Amazon or Flipkart, when you again open the same, it will suggest you some new products. You would have seen how it is showing that suggested web pages or some suggested products is, it is understanding your behavior. How? Assume you are purchasing a dress material to stitch a chudidar. So what you will do, you will visit a particular page in a particular website. immediately, if you are not satisfied, you are going to visit some other page which is related with that. So the web mining, web usage mining is going to understand your mind, your behavior. So based on that, it is going to suggest your products. So this is called web usage mining. So it is mainly used in business for improving the design of user page, as well as it helps to increase the sales and advertisement, right? So if a demand is more for a particular web page, then you can understand the demand is more for that particular product. Say for utility. So you will give more concentration and you will give more products of the material in that particular web page, which will increase the number of visitors to the web page. Once if the number of visitors for the web page increases, automatically your sales gets promoted, right? So it is going to gap between the web user and the web designer. How? Web designer want to understand the behavior of the web user. Only then they can design in a proper way. So usage mining is going to predict behavior and going to give information to the web developer. Unless and until the web designer is given with the lump sum of information about the web page, he cannot develop. Assume that you are a web developer, you are developing a website. Unless and until you get more information about that particular product, it is not possible to put everything to web page. So the web usage mining is going to get the behavior of the users, and it will be transferred to the web designer so that he will design the website in a form so that it attracts more customers, which improves the business. So I'm going to give you an example development of recommender system to improve online business. These are the major steps in the recommender system. As I said, in data mining steps itself, so we'll select the data. But here, the data is going to be from the web log file, that is either from the server or from the client or from the cookies. You will take the log file, then you will convert that log file into a rating matrix. That is what you will do the selection process. Then you will transform. Then you are going to use an algorithm called the API algorithm to identify the frequently visited pages. Then you are going to generate the association rule for the frequently visited pages. Then you are going to, from the rules, you are going to select the interesting rules and you are going to recommend that to the administrator. Right? So your log file will be like this. Your log format will be, whenever you visit a web page, automatically these get posted into the log file. Whatever may be the website you are visiting, whether it is an educational website or it is a movie website, whatever, automatically you are that is your address, which address you are going to, you have used everything stored in the. See, nowadays they are identifying the in the crime branch, they identifying if easily only based on these information. Once when you browse from a browsing center, their address will be stored in the web log file, right? So the URL will be stored only based on that. They can identify the location where the system is located, and they are identifying the thieves. So now here the web log file is going to have 19 different attributes. That is your client IP address, the date, time, then the authentication of the user, server IP address through which server you are accessing, then URI stem, timestamp, how long you are there in the web page. If you are going to spend more time, then that web page is an more important web page in that particular website. You can understand that from this log file. So data extraction and cleaning. So as I said, you are supposed to select the data. You are going to select different IP addresses. You are going to select the IP addresses only if they have spent more than 10 minutes in that particular web page. So this is an example I'm saying. If they are in a particular website for more than 10 minutes, those users has to be identified as an important user, and you're going to get the details only about that users, because for a web page there can be millions of visitors, but we are bothered about only the visitors or the customers who have spent more than 10 minutes in that particular web page. Then you are going to identify the needed attributes. So as I said in the previous slide, we will be having 19 different attributes, but out of which we are not needed with all the 19 attributes. So we are going to select only the 4 or 5 attributes. Then you are going to filter the records. What is this filtering? It is cleaning. It is a pre-processing task you are going to do. After selection, you are going to pre-process. That is nothing but filtering. You don't want graphics files, video files. Then sometimes you may get 401 error. So these errors, error files we don't want. The web pages which has given errors we don't want. So we are going to filter all those records, and then the log file will be converted in this form, right? So if you take, in this example, I have taken only 8 transactions. That means only 8 visitors I have considered. 8 visitors of a particular page I have considered. So for that, I have given the transaction ID as 0 to 8. If you, for example, if you take the 5th transaction ID, that particular visitor has visited only page number 1 and page number 2. Now, if you take the 7th page, 7th transaction ID, that is the 7th visitor, we have considered only these 8 are the important visitors. So now the 7th visitor has visited almost all the pages, P0, P1, P2, P4. He has not visited only P3. So you will be converting that web log file, that is web log, into a web log file of this format. Then you are going to transform that in a rating matrix. How? See, for example, if you take a transaction number 3, he has visited page number 1, 2, and 4. How can I convert this? Depending upon the web log file which I have created, I am going to convert that into a rating matrix. While I am converting that into rating matrix, I'll be converting, if he has visited the particular page, I'll put it 1. If he has not visited, I'll mark it as 0. So in that case, if you take transaction ID 4, he has visited page number 1, 3, page number 1 and 3. He has not visited P2 and P4. Page number 2 and page number 2 has not been visited by that particular visitor. So by converting our data, which data has been converted in this form? Our web log file. So this format has been converted into the rating matrix. So after converting into rating matrix like this, so in this it is very clear. So we have converted all the visitors, 8 visitors, 9 visitors we have considered, and their visit of the page has been recorded in the form of rating matrix. Then the a priori algorithm will be applied. So that has its own steps. First, it has to find out the minimum support count. Based on that, it is going to find out the result. I'll show you only the result. So this is how the a priori algorithm is going to give us the associated rules. What this associated rule is going to say. So if you take here, P0 gives P1 and P2 means the person who has visited P0 is visiting P1 as well as P2. That means the person is interested in the associated pages of P1 and P2. So for each and every association rule, you will be calculating the confidence and support. So you will fix the confidence level. So here we have fixed that minimum confidence threshold should be greater than or equal to 70%. If the value has actually we are supposed to apply the a priori algorithm. So if I take a priori algorithm, it will take more time. So after applying the a priori algorithm, here we are getting the result as, see, so the strong association rules are P4 gives P0 and P1. P0 and P4 give P1. P1 and P4 gives P0. What does it mean is the person who has visited P4 is also visiting P0 and P1. And P0 and P4, those who have visited, is also visiting P1. This is the prediction, or this is the output of web mining or output of data mining technique, right? So we have identified that the person who are visiting P0 and P1 is also visiting P4. That means these three are the important pages in the website, which is going to earn more visitors, through which I can earn more profit through business. So what, based on this a priori algorithm's result, what are you going to get, or what you are going to give recommendation to the web designer is, so since it is a recommender system, most important pages are P0, P1 and P4. Out of many pages available in the website, the important pages have been identified by the a priori algorithm as P0, P1 and P4. Now, instead of having P2 and P3 after P1, the website can be arranged as P0, P1 and P4. How? Because most visitors are visiting P0 and P1 also going to visit P4. So I need not put after P1, P2. So P2 web page can be transferred back by making P4 to come to the place of P2, so that most of the users can easily access that particular page. So P0, P1 and P4 can be redesigned because most of the visitors are visiting P0, P1 and P4. So importance should be given by the web designer in designing these three pages, especially because more of them have visited these three pages very frequently. So the goal of your personalized render system is to determine or to attract more number of visitors as well as to retain the existing visitors. So you are going to give business recommendation. If you see, if you have a website for your business, if you say that page number 10 has been frequently visited by many personalities, then the business analyst has to think why page number 10, what it is having, how can we improve, can I improve more, or how to retain those customers who are visiting page number 10. Maybe page number 10 may be any food material, food ingredients, or it may be some attracting games, something may be there. So the business person or the person who is hosting the website can decide that whether that particular web page has to be improved more, so that more customer can be attracted, that is visitor can be attracted, right? So this is how your web usage mining gives recommendation for improving the websites, right? So this is how it is helpful in our day-to-day life. Actually, here I have given some just about the types of web mining. I have concentrated only on web usage mining, how they are using the web page. Based on that, how can you improve the web pages by using web usage mining techniques? So let me conclude that these are all important area of research where most of the research personalities are involved in web mining along with machine learning nowadays. So the major difference between your data mining and web mining is the data there, it will be in the form of a database, whereas in the case of web mining, it will be in the web log file. So it will be unstructured. Web mining is dealing with the unstructured data. So it is a difficult task to convert that into information and to extract the hidden information. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. I would have been rushed because the time is not allotted for me more. So if you people have any queries to be clarified, I am here to clarify your queries. Or if you need any particular slide to be viewed again, I'm ready to do. Is there any queries?
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Can you explain about cookies? What is cookies?
Actually, cookies is a buffer which will be available in your system itself. See, while you are taking the data, either you can depend on the server for getting the log file, or you can depend on the client side. In the client side, it will be stored. See, if you have visited many pages, if you see your history in Google, you will have, that is, if you are using Chrome, if you see your Chrome history, it will show you which are the pages which you have visited, right? So that will be taken as a data for web mining. So you can also take the server side data as well as the client side data. So that is your cookies. It's a temporary memory which stores all your visited pages.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you explain the difference between session and cookies?
Session is not a temporary memory. Actually, cookies is a temporary memory. You mean to say session?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat the question?
Difference between session and cookies.
Session is the time which you are going to spend. It's not related with cookies.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Can you explain what is log, ma'am?
Log is nothing but the data that is stored when you visit a particular web page. See, actually, log is nothing but when you visit a particular web page, right? When you visit a particular web page, it will show you your IP address, then your operating system which you are using, then the time on which you have logged in, the timed out, right? The server IP address, everything will be shown. That is called to be a log.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Wait, if you want, I'll show you that information.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so this is your log. So 180.151.32.98, then 30 July 2011. So everything is information about your visit, which page you have visited, from which particular system you have visited, that IP address, and whether you have posted anything or you have downloaded anything, the operating system which you have used, name of the file which you have accessed. That is, see here, www.proview.com is a website. In that website, we have visited recordsynopsis.php. So this is how the information about your visit for a particular page will be stored in a file, and that file is called as a web log file. Individual record is called as a log. So this is your log format.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Any other queries? Yes. So one of your friend asked the difference between cookies and session. Both actually cookies is a buffer method not expire unless and until you delete the cookies. The content of the cookies will not be deleted. Whereas in the case of session, once when you switch off, automatically it will be deleted. That is the actual difference. So there is no link with the session and the cookies. Cookies is a buffer. Any other things? Meena ma'am?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Whether the big data and the web mining are related, ma'am?
Everything is a co-sister, co-brother, I can say. Big data will use the techniques of data mining. So if you are going to use in big data analytics the web files, then automatically you will be using web mining in big data analytics.
Okay.
If you are, it's a data which you are selecting. If you are going to select the normal database, then you can apply data mining technique. If you are going to use the data from the weblog file, then you will be applying web mining techniques, right? So big data analytics, data mining, deep learning, machine learning, everything is all related with each other.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
We thank you, ma'am. We had a detailed and crystal clear section about data mining and web mining, ma'am. The way you explained is very simple in manner, which is used to us for knowing more about data mining. Your examples are absolutely understandable by everyone, ma'am.
Thank you.
We are very grateful to you because today you made our day. We'll move as our full session about web content, web usage, web search mining, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Gratitude is the fairest blossoms which springs from the soul. May I invite Miss R. Pavitra from 2nd MSc to give vote of thanks.
Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions that you can practice in your everyday life. First and foremost, I extend my gratitude to the Almighty God for making this day a grand success. Leaders became great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. I overjoyed to thank our Secretary, Reverend Mother C. Noel Rani, FSAG, who support and encourage us to conduct this state-level webinar in grand manner. Thank you, Mother. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Actually, I extend my sincere thanks to our principal, Reverend Dr. E. Glitta Sumangali, FSAG, who leads us in the right path to invent success and also for her word of encouragement and blessings. Thank you, sister. Your vision, inspiration, and leadership make you an extraordinary. It's a privilege to work for you and with you. I extend my sincere thanks to our Vice Principal, Reverend Dr. A. John Diana, FSAG, for her unremitting guidance in all our activities. Thank you, sister. I would like to thank Ms. P. Meena, Head of Department of Computer Science and Applications, and Organizing President Ms. J. Anita Joseph, who have arranged this program successfully with hard work. Thank you, faculties. I am much pleasure to thank all our staff members who has coordinated and worked wholeheartedly for this event in an energetic way. Thank you, staff members. I thank our volunteers, students, and also the audiovisual support for their quiet cooperation throughout the program. Thank you. Last but not least, I thank all the students for their presence, which made the program very colorful. Once again, I thank you one and all.
Thank you, Pavitra. There are many things that are essential to arriving at true peace of mind, and one of the most important is faith, which cannot be acquired without prayer. Let us end our section with a prayer song. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Dear participants, are requested to fill your feedback link, which is shared through the YouTube link and also in the Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable session, ma'am.
Thank you. Let me exit.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your guidance and support, and also for inviting me as a resource person. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot,
ma'am.
ma'am.